Good morning, Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma. Welcome to Special Report brought to you by KC Securities. And actually, speaking of KC Securities, Dan, the owner of KC Securities, will be joining me today and also on Wednesday and Thursday morning Special Report as well as a guest host for this week from Monday to Thursday. So thank you very much for doing this.
Absolutely, my pleasure.
Good. So we got a lot of stuff to get to today. For those of you that have looked outside at all, you know that we are having quite a lot of rain. It started yesterday, it's still going today. We even have a special weather announcement as well. As you can see, you're seeing a live shot of downtown right now, and it's looking pretty rainy, and it's going to continue. So
it definitely is, Chris. And I was out last night, patrolling in the rain.
Doing your real job.
Doing my other job, getting soaked. The good thing is it wasn't windy, so the umbrella worked.
Umbrella worked?
Right? I mean, your feet get wet, but other than that, when it's windy and you're trying to hold the umbrella, it's not fun. But I'll get into the weather here. So we got a special weather statement still that's in effect. We're going to continue to see significant rainfall today and tomorrow, or today and tonight. Rain's going to continue through the day and into tonight before easing to light rain by Wednesday morning. Rain's going to kind of linger in Wednesday and into Thursday, giving an additional, although lesser amounts. So additional rainfall amounts of 30 to 50 millimeters over most areas are expected by Wednesday morning, although local amounts exceeding 50 millimeters are possible. And of course, Environment Canada will issue a rainfall warning if necessary, and that is triggered when the rainfall amounts are 50 millimeters or more in 24-hour period. For today's weather, it's currently 12 right now, and we're seeing heavy rain outside, and we're going to get up to a high of 19. Again, rain all day. This makes it easy, right? And then low of 14 tonight, rain. Yeah. So there's a bit of humidity today, but not too bad. Wednesday, high of 17, and oh yes, you guessed it, rain. A low of 12 degrees, and the rain kind of eases off Wednesday night. And then Thursday, we get into a bit of sun, a high of 21, and partly cloudy, and then a low of 14. And then, kind of a sneak peek for the next week, it's going to get hot and humid.
Well, that'd be nice.
Colette's favorite weather.
Now back down into the mid to high teens as our highs.
Yeah.
It would be nice to see some sunny days, get back up there at least to 25 or something.
Without triggering you don't want it to go too low to trigger your car.
Yeah, I don't want the ice warning triggering in my car. Thank you very much. I already had that happen to me several times in June, which is something I never thought I'd actually say.
Yeah.
But yes, possible icing. Okay. My normal co-host is Colette Linden. She's actually watching right now. So I want to say hi to Colette. Thank you very much
Colette.
Putting a good morning in our Facebook Live chat. So good morning to Colette. I hope that you are feeling better and things go well today. So, Lake Superior.
Yeah, those water levels are high.
How high? 26 centimeters higher? Is that about right?
Yeah. So they've rose about 5 centimeters over the course of the month, right? Yeah. And 26 centimeters above average.
Yes.
So, and remember last year.
That's almost a foot.
Yeah.
4 more centimeters is a foot of higher water levels.
After such low water levels for so many years now, and last year they really rose up high. As people here will remember, the boardwalk was damaged in a lot of storms, washed out a few times. And you were mentioning this morning before we went on the air about, Wasaga Beach.
Yeah, my parents retired to Wasaga Beach, and the beach that was there when they moved there like 4 years ago is basically gone. They took where there used to be a road that would go on the main strip of Wasaga Beach where all the stores and restaurants are.
Yeah.
The water had come up and was actually going into the stores, so the beach was just gone.
Yeah.
So they built a wall that's about my knee height or so, and then they filled it all in with sand. So the road is gone, and you now have like this pathway that they've built, but then there's a wall, and they had to fill the whole thing in with sand.
Right.
And then in parts of it, the water levels are so high that they built a wall at the water. So you don't even walk into the water on the sand, you walk down some steps to go into the water. Because the water levels are so high.
Because it's too high.
And they're looking at this and they're saying, like, this is kind of like how it's going to be for a while. They're not sure why over the course of only 2 years the entire beach disappeared.
Yeah.
Because essentially the beach that is there now was the beach that wasn't there 2 years ago.
Right.
Like it was a road, there was a boardwalk to walk on.
Same kind of thing, yeah.
That's all gone now. They've built this new boardwalk by the stores.
Right.
But I mean, even the wall in the one spot, like out at the water, it's got to be a 4 or 5 feet high wall that they've built to keep the water from coming in and flooding all the stores.
Well, that's the thing. These are the repercussions when it raises so high.
Yep.
There's damages and long-term effects. So and with this kind of weather outside here, it's gonna.
This doesn't help.
No, exactly.
Yeah. So. Yeah, like adding on 50 millimeters of rain in 24 hours as a minimum, just to issue one of those statements. Like, that's a lot for the rivers and lakes to absorb.
It's definitely a lot for it to take in all at once.
Yeah. So. But speaking about outdoors, we are a big area for travel and tourism, particularly in the summer. And we get a lot of people coming from the States and other parts of the world. But Trudeau right now is interested more in protecting Canadians from COVID-19 than he is in easing travel restrictions to allow people from other countries to come here.
Right.
He said yesterday that reopening too quickly or carelessly would lead to a resurgence of COVID-19 pandemic that could prompt a second round of lockdowns and snarl the economy further. So the border has been extended. The close to to only essential travel has been extended to July 21st. That happened last week. It could extend longer than that. Trudeau is more interested in protecting Canadians and trying to stop that second wave of COVID-19 that we're starting to hear about. Like in China, they they're starting a second wave there. Yeah. And we want to obviously stop that here, because the last thing we want to do here is have things just blow open again with a second wave. Ford and Trudeau yesterday actually spoke out against farmers in the Windsor-Essex County who have not been cooperating with COVID-19 testing. And then there's also a lot of manufacturing plants down there as well that have not been very cooperative in testing for COVID-19. And so tomorrow you're going to see the Toronto Public Health Unit, Peel Public Health Unit move to stage 2.
Right.
That leaves the only public health unit in Ontario that's not moved to stage 2 will be Windsor-Essex. And both Ford and Trudeau were like, the farmers, you need to start cooperating on this, because it's not fair to the people in the cities who are cooperating in that area. So
be punished.
We'll see what happens there, but we'll be right back after this commercial break. See you in 2 minutes.
What's life without making a few mistakes down the road? A few sharp turns. And doing things for what we adore, but might regret later. A trip to Chuck's Roadhouse isn't one of them. With melt-in-your-mouth AAA steaks, buttery lobster tail, half-priced apps after 9 p.m., an ice-cold draft with all your Roadhouse favorites. Chuck's Roadhouse. Food the way it ought to be, priced the way it used to.
A message from the Government of Canada.
In your home, lighting is just as important as style.
With PowerView Motorization from Hunter Douglas, you can schedule your shades to light up the room. Create privacy, or both, automatically. No hands required.
So your shades will always be in the right place at the right time in style. And it's only from Hunter Douglas.
welcome back to Special Report. I'd like to thank KC Securities for sponsoring Special Report at 8 a.m. and 1 p.m. each day. Thank you very much. And by the way, Dan is the owner of KC Securities, so thank you very much for that. And thank you for guest hosting this week.
Absolutely.
But we got some Facebook comments, and we're going to say hi to a couple of people there. Hi to Karen Williams. Hi to Colette Linden, my co-host. Thank you very much for watching. And also, Colette's parents are also watching as well, so thank you very much to them. Very much appreciate when we have people making comments in there. If you want to say hi, if you want us to say good morning to you on the show, if you have a birthday you want to tell us about, or an anniversary, or maybe your kid's moving out of the house, you're really excited, let us know. We can do a shout out here on the air live. The only comments that we see when we are live on the air are the ones in the Facebook chat. We don't see the other ones on the other streaming services that we use, like Roku and Amazon Fire, and the YouTube goes up after the show, so we don't actually see those comments until it's too late to say them on the air. So if you want to be on the air, that's how you get in contact with us. Okay. I've done a couple different stories on the Alzheimer's Society since I've been here. I've been to a few of their conferences. One of the interesting ones I went to was the search and rescue that they have for people who have Alzheimer's or dementia who wander away, and then they have to find them, and they got these cool helicopters. And like, it's absolutely amazing what the technology that they have these days to actually find people.
Yeah,
I can't imagine.
They have that too.
I can't imagine what it was like 100 years ago trying to find someone who got lost compared to what they have now. I mean, like the infrared, they can tell how they can look. They can do on an infrared. They can tell how tall a person is and their weight. So they can literally be like, oh, we're looking for someone who's 5'11", 175 pounds, and the scanner looks for someone who's 5'11", 175 pounds. Yeah. Like, it's crazy.
It is amazing.
It's insane how they're able to do this. However, right now, obviously, a lot of charities are down in their giving. We were talking about the hospice last week, Arch here in town, that was down $25,000 from where they were last year in terms of their fundraising. But the Alzheimer's Society is also asking for your help. Their giving in May was down 82%. And April was down 67%. Every year, the Alzheimer's Society has to raise 45% of their budget in donations. That works out to about $400,000. So they are behind that goal right now, and like just this past month, they were down 82%, meaning they're basically bringing in about $1 for every $5 they were bringing in this time last year. So if you can help the Alzheimer's Society out here in Sault Ste. Marie and Algoma, please go to their website to do that. You can donate online. You don't have to physically go into their office, obviously, because they don't want people coming in. But if you could please reach out to the Alzheimer's Society, and even if you can throw them $5, give them $5. Just anything you can do to help them out. We have a lot of charities right now in our community that are obviously suffering.
It's a tough time.
From COVID-19. Unfortunately, the way charities work when they're needed the most is usually when people have the least amount of money to give. And then when things are going well, people are giving the money, and there's not as many people that need those. For example, like the homeless shelter and things like that, and food banks.
So right now it's just kind of all, it's the perfect storm, right? Because things are tough for many people, and of course the charities, they still need to continue to operate, and they provide these services to the community. It's very important.
A food bank. Like when times are bad, people need a food bank more than when times are good. And look at our unemployment levels. They're still in double digits, even though our economy started to reopen again. Be interesting to see what the numbers are for unemployment for the month of June. I mean, we might be down to only 10 or 11%, down from 13, because a good chunk of Ontario is now made, as of tomorrow, everybody but Windsor-Essex will be at stage 2.
And Ontario, of course, is the large workforce of the country, population-wise.
Absolutely.
So we account for a lot of the jobs. And
between Ontario and Quebec, we're well over half the country.
Exactly.
So, and we're so intertwined with Quebec, too. I mean, so.
Speaking of Quebec.
Yes.
Montreal. I got lots of family in Montreal. My dad's from Montreal, so I've been to Quebec many times, but so they've opened up their gyms and restaurants as of Monday.
Any social distancing?
Yes, there's limits too, right? You got 50 people you can have like at the gym. Some people couldn't wait to get into the restaurants, right? That it's patio season now. So
I went to Burger Dawn last weekend. The weekend before that.
I remember
out on patio.
You mentioned that.
Yeah, we're the only crazy ones out there. It was freezing cold.
So it's good. I mean, I don't know when we're going to get the nod here for gyms. I think very soon. I'm excited for that. I miss the gym along with a lot of people, right? It's part of the routine, so...
They're going to have a lot of Lysol wipes in gyms.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, even normally you're supposed to wipe everything down, so I can only...
Yeah, and a lot of them have probably had this. They've had 3 months to prepare, so hopefully they've done that and they're ready to go. So
yeah, because I can't even find Lysol wipes in stores anywhere.
Still?
Yeah, I was at Food Basics yesterday, all gone.
It's almost like the toilet paper thing.
It was. Toilet paper's easy to find now.
Yeah, that's like no problem.
Yeah, it's like no problem. Oh, there's toilet paper. Put it in the bag. Oh, there's Kleenex. Put it in the bag. I cannot find Lysol wipes. If anyone knows where there's Lysol wipes, please send me an email. Chris at superiormedia.ca. Chris at superiormedia.ca.
And not like gouged.
Yeah, and not like $700 for like 2.
Because then we got to let Ford know about that. So.
Yes, we will. Speaking of letting people know stuff, Iran still has not handed over that black box for the plane that they accidentally shot down.
Yeah.
And so they are saying that they are willing now to hand over that black box and start to talk about compensation for the families who lost loved ones in that tragedy. We'll see where that goes. Iran has said several times that they're going to turn over that black box, and they haven't so far. Right. This could just be another delay technique that they've been using.
Tactic, yeah.
We've been told for months that they're going to hand this thing over. However, they have not. And also we'll see what they think good compensation would be for people who lost loved ones. But we'll be right back after break. See you in 2 minutes.
Recently, the Government of Ontario established a $100 million affordability fund to help Ontarians who don't qualify for low-income conservation programs ease the burden of their electricity bill. Whether you rent or own your home, as long as you pay your electric bill, you could qualify. There are 3 levels of support available. The first is a home energy kit with upgrades like smart power bars and LED light bulbs. The second includes Energy Star appliances that help keep things cool during the hot summer months. The third is for electrically heated homes so that your power bills don't break the bank during those long Canadian winters. Plus, all upgrades, including installation, are completely free of charge. Visit affordabilityfund.org or call 1-855-494-FUND to find out if you qualify.
Welcome back to Special Report. Thank you very much to KC Securities for your sponsorship. I'd also like to say hi to my co-host Colette Linden, who is watching us on Facebook Live right now. Hello, Colette. So this past weekend, I went to visit my parents, and for those of you watching the morning show yesterday, we had a video of my parents' dog Franny playing with puppies on the television screen, which she thought were real puppies, which is was a funny little video show. But my parents treat their dog better than their kids. The dog, every other day is Christmas for that dog.
Isn't that usually the case with pets? They get spoiled.
My parents just have like a bag of toys to give her. It's hilarious. It's like, oh, we stock up. It's like, yeah, and she's got a big bucket of toys. When I was a kid, I got like a little Tonka truck. You know, a couple little figurines. She's got like 50 toys. So I'd love to be my parents' dog. But not going to happen. However, my parents do not leave the dog in the car, and we actually had a conversation about this because it's about a 45-minute drive for them to go to Costco from their place.
Right.
And they want to take the dog with them, but obviously when it's hot outside, you shouldn't be leaving the dog in the car. And she's a puppy, and she's not used to being left in her cage for long periods of time yet. If they went, they'd have to leave her for 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah.
So what are the rules about pets in hot cars? They're actually making stiffer penalties now.
This is good timing with the warm weather. Of course, it's a reminder not to leave your pets in the car because of the temperature. Doesn't even if your windows are open or cracked, it doesn't matter. It's try sitting in a hot car with the windows up or even just a crack. It's very hot. So Ontario is now the first jurisdiction in Canada to implement a full provincial government-based animal welfare enforcement system. The Provincial Animal Welfare Services Act came into effect on January 1st, 2020, which allows police, First Nations constables, and provincial animal welfare inspectors to enter vehicles to help pets in distress. Also, if you do see an animal that's in distress or in a hot car, you can always dial 911. They don't advocate to smash the window or go that route, but everybody makes their own decisions, right? So it's because there's a lot of emotions when you're seeing a dog or a child even.
I mean, that's insane. Over 120 degrees Fahrenheit after 60 minutes.
Yeah,
that's smoking hot. I mean, that is like Middle East desert hot. That's like Dubai on a hot day.
Well, Mike just mentioned about a dog in an air-conditioned vehicle. I mean, yeah, exactly. What kind of regulations are there on that? I mean, if the dog is cool, right? If the vehicle is running and the air conditioning's on, is there a problem, right?
Well, if there's air conditioning on, that's a little different. But even just cracking the window a little bit for your dog actually doesn't do much to get the heat out either. So it's almost as if the car is sealed up. It just does not.
Yeah, it just doesn't. And of course, they've got all that fur on, and depending on what type of dog it is too. Like if you have a husky, they don't like that. They don't like heat at the best of times. They want to roll in ice. They want to be in snow. Yeah. So don't bring your dog with you if you don't have to in those cases. And I know some people, it's tough because they want to always have their dogs with them. Yeah. And that's, And another thing too, just because since we're on the topic of dogs, don't drive with them on your lap. That's a pet peeve of mine. Like, that's a distraction. Do not drive with them on your lap.
Yeah. So. Good point.
Yeah. Yeah. Thought I'd throw that in.
Yeah. So we have a video that we're going to show you right now. This happened the other day down in Mississauga area, the Peel Regional Police. They were called for a mental health check. An individual, 62-year-old man who suffers from schizophrenia. Right. He was. His family had called the police for help. They wanted him to be taken to the hospital where he could get assistance. He has 4 kids. And he was on the second floor, and they could not get into the apartment, so they used a ladder to get up and in. He was armed with a knife, and when they breached the door, he ended up being shot and killed, which was not what the family wanted, obviously. They were trying to get him help.
Yes.
There was several officers there. So this is being investigated by the Special Investigations Unit. Obviously, anytime someone passes away under police care or in a situation such as this, they're reviewed. So we'll have more about that later today probably, but we'll be right back after the break.
Hey Mel, did you know that Algoma University has campuses in Brampton and Timmins?
Really? Did you know that if you're at Algoma University, you're only 14 minutes and 16 seconds away from Maitland Fort Lincoln?
Oh wow, closer than you think.
past year we've been celebrating our 65th anniversary, dating back to services originating in our community in 1954, which is quite some time ago. It's been a great opportunity this past year to recognize the pioneers, the stakeholders that worked tirelessly to create what we are today. I'm grateful for everything that the families 65 years ago and the people that assembled the organization have done in order for us to achieve the success that we're experiencing 65 years later.
And welcome back to Special Report. Thank you very much for joining us today. My co-host Dan from KC Security will be with me for also the Wednesday and Thursday morning shows of Special Report as well. We'll be on at 1 p.m. as we are each day with Doug Ford's press conference as well. Couple more shout outs on Facebook. Good morning to Cindy, and also Colette said to Dan, you better not be a Habs fan. What is the verdict on your hockey choice?
She's lucky, I guess. It's a good thing because I'm not a Habs fan. I am a Detroit Red Wings fan.
Wow.
My father is a diehard Habs fan, so of course we have that rivalry, the original six, right? And around here, Toronto is very popular too, right? Yeah. So we have those, we have those rivalries with Toronto. But speaking of Toronto and not the Maple Leafs, the Raptors.
The one that actually wins championships.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the ones that hey, they're still going to be the winner until things get moving. But they're heading down to Florida to prepare. Into Fort Myers to prepare for play. So they're going to be moving to the NBA campus, which is at the Disney complex in the Orlando area, right near where my mom lives, in the early July to start the remainder of the season. So there's going to be safety protocols in place. There'll be no group workouts during this phase, and it's going to be very controlled. So group workouts will only begin once teams have reported to the NBA campus at Disney. So it's so it's going to be tricky for the first while.
So they're just going to I guess they're playing to empty stadiums.
And it's just going to be weird for them to have to. I don't know how they're going to adjust to that, but because you get close when you're playing sports, right?
Yeah, you're so close. Yeah. Particularly in basketball, you're constantly sweating. You're sweating onto the ball and passing it around.
And they're blocking each other and doing.
You have to be right up in people's faces in basketball.
Yeah.
And we saw what happened with soccer over in Europe. I mean, the Premier League. The first game they had a total of 300 people in the whole stadium for everything.
Yeah.
Like the players, what they needed for staff.
For all of it.
Television and things like that. But literally, seats just empty. I mean, it's so weird. If you've ever been to a soccer game, you know that people are singing songs the whole time. It's very jovial atmosphere.
Very.
That is just gone. It's just like, okay, just soccer.
Just the game.
And, unfortunately, that's the world we presently live in, unless you're Donald Trump and you try to hold a rally in a stadium that has seating for 19,000 and 6,200 show up. But that was the largest gathering in North America so far.
Yeah, it has been.
Yeah. But I'll be back at 1 o'clock with Doug Ford. Also, stay tuned for news all day, and I'll see you again tonight at 7 p.m. for the Chris Oldcorn Show. Have a great morning.
Take care.